Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another episode of PGR2 Platinum Handicap playthrough, and in this part we are looking at the Classic Series. So we're up to the 7th series out of 14, I believe. So in terms of the series, this might be the halfway point, but we're not halfway in terms of the amount of events we have to do. But the Classic Series, right, in this series we do have 10 cars, which is the most out of any series. And there are quite a few surprises with what is possible in this. But as per usual, we'll go through and rank the cars. So the two starter cars are the worst cars in the group. So we've got the Toyota 2000 GT in last place. And to be honest, it doesn't actually handle too bad, but it's just so slow. It's incredibly slow. And it's the worst by quite a margin, to be honest. And then we have the Porsche 550 Spider, which is slightly quicker than the Toyota, but then that's got pretty bad handling. But yeah, the speed of that car is going to do better than the Toyota 2000 GT. So them two are sort of on their own at the back. Then we jump up slightly to the Nissan 240Z. And this has got really good handling. It's actually pretty nice to drive, really stable, but it's not the quickest. It's probably the same as the Porsche, maybe slightly slower. It's not brilliant, but the handling, especially on the small circuits, it does really pay off with that car. Right, and then we jump up to two cars that are pretty similar, which is the Mercedes 300 SL and the Ferrari Dino. These two are pretty closely matched, but the 300 SL doesn't handle brilliantly at all. It's pretty unstable and it power slides a lot. The back end kicks out quite a bit. I don't really like driving that car, to be honest. So that is next, and I'd probably put the Ferrari Dino or Dino ahead of that. It's pretty stable, pretty quick. It does understeer quite a bit though, but it's better to drive, I think, than the Mercedes. So that goes there, and then I'd sort of draw a line now to the next cars, and then the next cars up are sort of in the competitive zone. I'd say this is where they start getting, you know, capable of actually doing something. And then we have the Porsche 911 RS 2.7 on its own after that. Yeah, so this is quite a bit quicker than the Dino. Handling's brilliant, but it's just not quick enough in a straight line to compete with the ones above, really. So I believe that's 5th place. The Porsche's in 5th place. Then we've got two cars again that are pretty close to each other. And that is the Lancia Stratos and the Jaguar E-Type. But the Lancia Stratos is worse. It has got better handling than the Jag. The acceleration's not as good as the Jag. But to be honest, this car is pretty slidey. It doesn't feel like it's in control too much. So I'm putting that in 4th place. It's not the best. The Jaguar is quite a bit better just because of the acceleration. The handling's not brilliant, but I think it's actually more easy to drive than the Lancia. So that goes into 3rd place with a decent acceleration. Then obviously the two Ferraris are the fastest by quite a distance. The Ferrari 275 and the Ferrari 250. But the Ferrari 250 just edges it with better handling. The 275 does understeer a little bit. They're pretty similar though. They're very similar. But there's quite a few competitive cars that can be used in this to win some medals. Right, so that's the order. So the first one we are going to do... There's actually quite a lot of timed runs and hot laps in here as well. There's 3 hot laps and 1 timed run. So for the amount of events, it's quite a lot in ratio-wise. But the first hot lap in Barcelona. This is a really unique event because the auto start at the start of the race doesn't work properly, and it actually completely hinders a lot of the cars. And the weird thing is that some of the cars are unaffected, and there's 2 cars, which is the Lancia Stratos and the Ferrari Dino, which are unaffected by this auto start, and they don't hit the wall or get screwed up or anything. And it might be just because they're the shortest cars in the group. I'm not sure what it is, but the Jaguar E-Type gets affected the worst. What I might do is actually just show you quickly the difference between them. So I'm going to show you what shall I show you? The Lancia Stratos, how that does its auto start. Then the Jaguar E-Type, because that's absolutely terrible. And then something that's not really too badly affected is probably something like the Porsche or the 250. It just touches the side. It does slow it down. But the Jaguar E-Type absolutely nearly spins out on the start line. So it's massively handicapped there. So I'll just show you that quickly. But, yeah, we'll jump in to the hot lap, and we are going to use the Porsche. So the two Ferraris, the quick Ferraris, obviously possible to do that. The Lancia Stratos is possible. The E-Type is just about possible, only because of the start it has. Otherwise, it'd be quite easy. And then the 911 RS is going to be the one we're going to use for this. And this is a very, very difficult hot lap. You have to get this absolutely spot on to get a 51.8 or under. So it's probably going to take me a few attempts, but here we go. Oh man, this event is so difficult in this car. I'm only just going to do this if I do. Right, we need to be a couple tenths up here, if possible. 4 tenths, that's really good actually. I was a little slow through there, if I'm honest. I think I need to save about half a second from my first attempt. Well, we're 8 tenths up. Oh, that was not brilliantly judged. Oh, I've clipped the wall there as well. Oh, did I do that? That was very close. I just messed up the last corner there. Oh, that was ridiculous. I probably could have maybe saved a couple tenths through there, the last corner. But, yeah, 34 thousandths of a second passed by there. That was pretty crazy. So, yeah, that was in the Porsche. Then we can do that. Then the Ferrari Dino, the Mercedes, the Nissan 240Z, and the Porsche Spider can get gold. But the Toyota 2000 GT can only get silver. But I'm pretty sure that's one of the cars that's absolutely screwed on the start line there. So that's a pretty weird event. But yeah, it's going to test the skills on quite a few of these, because the time runs, some of the cars we can use is like, it's on the limit of being able to do it for quite a few of them. Right, so jumping straight into another timed run, or another time-based event. So we did a hot lap first, now it's a timed run. And unbelievably, I managed to do this in the slowest car. But this is like I said, on the limit of being able to do this. So 47.3 seconds for 2 laps. This is like one of the smallest tracks in the game as well. Barcelona. So this has to be absolutely spot on to do this. Oh, this is so difficult, this one. It has to be absolutely spot on. Come on, 23.7. Oh, 6. I think that might be the quickest lap I've ever got doing this. Oh, this is good. This is good. Still decent. Come on. Oh, I think that was just about it. Like, this is right on the limit. This is like, yep. Look at that. Again, 62 thousandths. There's literally no room for error in that event at all to be able to do that. But shockingly, that's possible in every car, which is only due to the size of the track. If it was a big track with longer straights, obviously, it'd be a different story. But here we are. So, 2 down. Third event is a street race, and we're going to have to go back into the Porsche. I think, let's have a look at this one. I tried this quite a lot in the Ferrari Dino and also the Mercedes 300 SL. And what I'm going to say is, it is maybe possible in either of those cars, but you do need a hell of a lot of luck, and it's going to take a lot of time for the stars to align to be able to do that in terms of the AI crashing and then you trying to catch up, and yeah. So I'm going to go for it in the 911 RS, because I couldn't do it in the Dino. So we are against, I think it's the Lancia Stratos and the E-Type are the cars in first and second. And, yeah, let's go. This track is actually really annoying, mainly because of the chicane section near the end. And that doesn't normally happen. The Jags actually lunge the Lancia. And we're up into first already. That doesn't happen very often, that at all. But yeah, I think it is possible in the Dino. You just need a lot of luck on your side, really. Oh, that was terrible. But yeah, I wasn't going to attempt the Dino one on this because it's literally... It might... Well, I haven't done it yet, and I was probably at it for over an hour in the Dino, then I gave up. So that might be one for the medal improvement spreadsheet instead of me actually doing it in this episode. That corner is horrible, that section of corners. That's better through there. But the difference between this car and the Dino is quite shocking. How much better this car is quite a big jump, to be honest, between the first half and the second half of these cars in the series. But this is great handling, so this track's pretty good for it, to be honest. That's pretty slow as well. You can fly through that section, but again, that requires quite a bit of luck to swing the car around properly. So I managed to do that in the 5 quicker cars, the 2 Ferraris, the Jaguar, the Lancia Stratos, and the Porsche 911. But 300 SL, the Mercedes, and the Ferrari Dino have not managed to do that yet. So we're putting it up for a possibility. So up to a 1-on-1. I believe this is against the Porsche, actually. Yes, and I was able to actually do this in the 300 SL. The problem with this track is there's a huge straight on it, and even though the Porsche is not the quickest, it's significantly quicker than, say, the Nissan 240Z, the Porsche Spider, and the Toyota 2000 GT, which can't get platinum, so I can do it in the 300 SL. And we're going to do that. So the Nissan 240Z and the Porsche Spider could get gold, but the Toyota 2000 GT could only actually manage silver in that. Funny enough, because even on gold, we're against the Porsche, so I didn't really notice too much in terms of the driving of the AI between gold and platinum. So yeah, Mercedes 300 SL against the Porsche. Let's go. Right, this car is kind of equally matched with the Porsche in terms of acceleration. If we're drafting, we might actually catch up. But this car is much worse around the corners. So that's where the Porsche got the advantage. But we can draft them here and potentially do a bit of a lunge. Oh, we just caught it in the end. And we slowed him down quite a lot. But the next worst car is the Nissan 240Z. And unfortunately, you can't catch up because it's just too slow. It's brilliant at handling, the Nissan, but unfortunately, this is not the race for it. Just because of that straight, really. I reckon if it didn't have that long straight, you might stand a chance. Gotta hate this corner, especially in this car. It's not the most agile thing in the world, this. Oh, look at that. Straight into the wall. Just give him a little nudge there. If you're anywhere near the opponent in a one-on-one, it's actually really easy. But that is the thing. If you can get near him, then it's usually possible because you can dive bomb and then block and do whatever. I'm driving this awfully. It's not easy swapping between the cars all the time. You can see the slight acceleration advantage of the Porsche. Like I said, though, it's pretty closely matched. And the AI actually drive pretty well on this track. Especially through these sections. I've just done that terribly. Wasn't too bad. It's just this corner, look at it. It understeers like mad. But just about manage it. To be honest, pretty sloppy driving in that one. But in the 300 SL, it is done. So quite a lot of the cars could manage platinum in that one again, apart from 3. But yeah, the 2000 GT can only get silver. It's pretty strange. But moving on to the third time-based event, another hot lap in Edinburgh this time. Grassmarket West. What are we saying with this one then? So, all but 2 can do platinum on this. So the 2 start cars can do gold, could not quite do platinum. And then the Nissan 240Z, which is the third worst, just about managed platinum in this. I think this is pretty close as well to the limit. So we need a 1 minute lap exactly around Edinburgh. Right, this car is miles better to drive than the Mercedes. It's a shame it's slower though. Because I much prefer driving this car. To be honest, that second corner was a little slow. It's got great handling though, it really does. There's not even a hint of oversteer. And you can fly through there with this car. I'll leave it in 4th as well, I think. This could be it. How are we going to do? 59 point... I think that was probably an 8. It was high 7s or an 8. 8, yeah, 820. So that's just a 10th. Just under 2 tenths. Pretty damn close, but again, another hot lap in a pretty slow car in the class, which is pretty cool. So yeah, all but 2 can do platinum on that one. Oh, now we move on to the cone challenge, which, as per usual, in any class is an absolute pain in the arse, but we're going to try this in the slowest car, and this car is so slow for this challenge. Toyota 2000 GT. Luckily, it's only 1 lap, so that's the silver lining for this, but 11,850 kudos in the Toyota 2000 GT. I'm going to actually have to remind myself where to slide in this event, because this thing does not have enough speed to do this cone challenge normally, which is kind of expected. Oh, I nearly lost control. I think I needed to slide there. I hope I did anyway. Right, I'm going to get through there. And this thing is incredibly slow. Where does the combo drop? It might be here. So we have to do this stupid thing. Just to try and get the car down the straight. Right. That's over with. I think that's the worst part. Oh, we've still got some crazy bits here. Oh, this corner's annoying, actually. This one. You can get good lines, which I did. That's quite slow, though. Nearly hit the cone. Oh, we're actually doing alright. Now to this bit where we're weaving all over the place. Nearly hit the cone. We're actually doing pretty well here, not going to lie. Wow, okay. Not going to lie, I actually managed to do that first try. And passed by quite a lot, to be honest. Those extra slides on the straight make a huge difference to that. So we passed by 1,500 on top with the 2000 GT. I'm pretty happy with that. That was crazy. Some of these cone challenges, but that was quite a bit easier, I'd say, than the VX2201 one, because that circuit in the Roadster series was horrible. But there we are, cone challenge done in every car. Right, now we have an overtake in Edinburgh, and this one is incredibly easy, obviously, in the 275. I think you can have like about 50 seconds or more left on the clock. So I did manage to do this again in the Toyota. So this is right on the limit. You overtake the last cars with seconds to go, maybe like 1 or 2 seconds. But everything has to go right. There's a Caterham that's behind a Lotus Elise at the front. And if the Caterham overtakes a Lotus Elise, then this is impossible. But if the Caterham gets stuck behind the Lotus Elise, which happens 90% of the time, then this is why this is possible in the slower car. The last few attempts I've had, the Caterham has literally overtaken the Lotus within the last 15 seconds, and it just does enough for it to be impossible. It's kind of annoying, this one, because you do have to really depend on what the AI do. He actually helped me around the corner then, funny enough. Right, please, Lotus, please stop the Caterham overtaking him. Right, we'll get rid of that Volvo. Oh, that was really bad. Puts you in a really awkward spot to try and take the corners. Right, we've got the Chevrolet coming up next. And this is going to be a pain in the arse to overtake as well, fortunately. Oh, we managed to just about get around him in a decent place there, actually. Right, looking at the mini-map, the Lotus is still ahead of the Caterham. We've now got the Lightning to try and overtake, though. It's a big fat thing. Right, that's a good place to overtake it. The Caterham is still behind the Lotus, so this is exactly what needs to happen. It's not often in overtakes they're bunched up like this together, two cars. There they are. This is going really well, actually, this one. They're actually going incredibly slow, I think. See, the Caterham just gets stuck behind. Most of the time, it does stay behind. Sometimes it overtakes, though. That's actually a record. Never done it that quick. 11 seconds left. To be honest, I'm usually overtaking them about round this corner. So I usually have about 3 seconds left. So that one's gone very well. I think the AI drove slower in that because I usually overtake them on that corner. So that means they're on that corner, usually. But yeah, it's pretty difficult, that one. You have to overtake the cars and not get slowed down by any of them, and it can be difficult depending on what corner you're trying to overtake them on. But yes, that overtake is possible in every car there, so that's something. Right, 4 events left. We have a one-on-one now against the 250. No, the 275. And this is a little bit surprising, but we can actually do this in the Nissan 240Z. There's 3 laps, and it is kind of annoying because you have to do the same old thing where we have to try and stop him overtaking us for 2 laps, I think. But in the Toyota 2000 GT and the Porsche, I could only get gold in this. They're just too slow to catch up to the Ferrari to do the dive bomb in the first place, so here we go. Right, it goes without saying, this is massively slower, so there's not even any point trying to draft him. It's pretty slow around there, to be honest. And is that quick enough to get a dive bomb? Yes, just. Didn't actually do that well the first half of that track. Right, so now we have to try and hold off this incredibly quick Ferrari, which is no easy task. It's annoying that it's 3 laps as well, to be honest. Doesn't really matter how I drive, to be honest, because it's so quick, the Ferrari, it's just impossible. Right, so I don't really know how I'm going to play this, to be honest. I tried to go for the dive bomb, it didn't work, so we'll try here. I'm going to have to try and spin him out as he's trying to pass me, but I'm not very good at doing it. Yes, look at that. Oh, I nearly spun myself out, in all honesty, first of all. But I managed to get him on the second spin. Question is that going to be enough? Truth be told, I'm not usually very good at pit manoeuvring, and I end up making it worse for myself than the opponent. But we've got a decent margin here. He may catch up though. I don't think it's that much. 3.5 seconds. If I try not to make many mistakes, then that will give me the best chance, obviously. And there's one. Oh, that was terrible. We may have to do a second pit manoeuvre. This track is so difficult. Right, how much has he caught up through there? A little bit, but not too much. Luckily, he's outside the slipstream. See, I think that should be 2 laps. 3 laps is a bit unnecessary for this, but hopefully that's 2 point. No, it's 2 seconds dead. It's going to be close. Come on, you beauty. That's probably a second something. 1.8. That's much better around there. That's 1.5 maybe? 1.7. You actually only gained a 10th through there. This is all going to come down to the last corner. Which I messed up, of course. And we're just about going to do it. Down to that one pit manoeuvre. But yeah, the problem is, in the 2 start cars, the Porsche or the 2000 GT, I just can't catch up enough to even get near him for that the pit manoeuvre on that other corner. So, 240Z it is, or 240Z. Right, so 3 left to go. We have another hot lap, the 3rd hot lap of the series. Barry Gotti, or Gothic. And again, I think we're in the 240 once more. Yes, we are. The Porsche and the Porsche Spider and Toyota 2000 GT could only get gold. So once more, we are in the 240Z. 46 seconds, and I believe, again, this is pretty solid to get. I think this is up there, one of the hardest hot laps in this series. This is the tricky bit coming up. Oh, that was nice. That was nice. Oh, this may be it. Come on. I think that was a fail. I honestly believe that was a fail. Oh, look at that. Nice. 0.964. 45.964. What is that? 36 thousandths of a second. I believe that was similar to what we got on one of the other hot laps. I don't know where I could have improved that lap, really. There's a couple of corners maybe I could squeeze a little bit of time out, but I thought that was pretty quick overall. And the same story, I think, was with the Dino and the Mercedes 300 SL, where I passed by about that much. But it's difficult in every car there. So, yeah, that's a very, very narrow victory, that one. But we have a speed camera and a street race to finish off the episode. So, with the speed camera, it is only possible in the 275 and the 250 to get platinum, unfortunately. The Jaguar can get gold, and it's probably about 3 or 4 miles per hour off platinum. And what else have we got? The Lancia Stratos can also get gold, but I could only get gold in this one by reversing off the start line and then getting a better run-up and going around the corner. And then everything else can get silver. So there's 6 cars in there that can only get silver on the speed trap, which isn't brilliant. There's 2 that can get gold, and then obviously we've got the 275 and 250 that can get platinum, but they can both get 2 miles per hour over the target. So we'll unlock the 275. So 136 for platinum, and I managed to get 138 in both of them. Obviously, we're not going to use the 250 in this one because it's locked, but I did manage to get 138 in that one as well. Funny enough, they're actually both geared exactly the same, because I believe 138 miles per hour is the top end of third gear, so you can't go any faster in third gear in either of the cars. Right, so you can back up there if you want. It doesn't make a difference to this car because you have to slow down for this corner anyway. That's actually quite good straightaway. But the Lancia Stratos can go round there pretty good. Because it's got... Oh, it's 4th gear, actually. I got it straight away. That was a bit unexpected. But I got 138, and it's the top of 4th gear, not 3rd gear, where that tops out 138. But yeah, at the start, you can reverse there to help you out. But in this car, you have to let off the throttle anyway. But in the Lancia Stratos, you can just go around there full whack pretty much, because it's very good at handling. But 138 miles per hour. Straight away. Very nice indeed. Right, now we come up to the finale of this series, which is a street race, which has the 250 GTO and the 275 in it. And that makes it incredibly difficult. But managed it in, obviously, both Ferraris. The E-Type, it's fairly easy in the E-Type, as well as the Lancia Stratos, it's fairly easy in that. Porsche 911, though, it's a bit of a challenge in this. I'll go in orange, why not? And I did try again in the Ferrari Dino, but it's just not going to happen, I don't think. I was pretty close, but the 2 Ferraris again have to fight, so you have to get a lot of RNG, a lot of luck on your side, and you have to drive perfectly yourself anyway. So again, with the other street race, I'm going to say it's maybe possible in the Dino, but I'm not going to give it a go, because I tried for too long and I couldn't do it. So we're going to do it in the Porsche. That's not too bad a start. Oh, that was nice. Fortunately, I'm going to get dropped by this 250, and this 275 is going to be right on my arse. And the Jag's doing it as well. I've messed that up big time. Well, what we're saying now, 1.1 seconds. I think I'm too far behind because I didn't do very well in that corner. Oh no, maybe not. Oh no, that was alright actually. And we are going to just about get round here. But those Ferraris are so quick in a straight line. I've done it again inside of the Porsche's handling is surprisingly good, so I'm turning in too soon with it. That was better around there though. There's 5 laps. It is actually quite a challenging street race because the AI do drive well. I think this is potentially the only corner that they don't do very well. All the rest of them they're pretty good on. And obviously that chicane as well, you can do that pretty quick if you get that inside, hop over the curb. We're doing alright so far though. There we go, managed to do that without hitting the wall this time. That's much better through there as well. I think we are actually pulling them away slightly. 1.8 seconds. Oh, that's bad. Bad chicane, but we're 2.4 seconds, so we are just pulling away now. But unfortunately, the difference between this and the Dino is actually crazy. I was just trying to cling on. I did manage to get second place in the Dino, but I was a good couple seconds behind, and that was on a very good run as well. So I just think if the 250 gets ahead, you've got no chance in the Dino. The 275 has to fight it. That's the issue, really. Like I said, there may be some street races and the one-on-one that can be improved. Maybe some other stuff. But as per usual, I tried to test it as best I could. But for the sake of these videos, where I've got to record it mostly in one sitting, I do want to do the ones that are very challenging, but you know, don't take 9 hours to do one event. It's usually the street races that are the ones that are the unknowns, if it's possible or not, just because there's so much stuff that can happen in it. And I butchered that last corner, but actually managed to win by a decent margin in the end there. It's a shame I couldn't do that in the Dino, though. I did really try and I wanted it to happen, but I couldn't get it quite to happen, so in the 911 it is. And 3 seconds ahead. The E-Type actually came ahead of the 275, funny enough. But even the computer's driving it. Look, you've got the Porsche in 5th place, and the Dino is 6 seconds behind that, which is quite a big margin over that 5 laps. But there we go. Move on to, and we have unlocked the Sports Coupe series. It goes under the radar a bit, this series, I think, in the game, for some reason. Bit strange. Right, so let's have a look. Right, we'll pop up the medal spreadsheet as per usual, have a little look at that. And we can see that quite a lot of it is actually platinum, which is very surprising, to be honest. And also, there's not too many silvers in there. The Toyota 2000 GT has a few more silvers than the others just because of its really slow straight line speed. But The points are kind of how I described the cars. We've got Toyota 2000 GT 44. Porsche Spider can do a couple more events, the hot lap and the 1 versus 1 and gold instead of silver, so that's 46. Then there's quite a big jump to 50 points, which is the Nissan 240Z. And then the Mercedes and the Dino were pretty closely matched on 51. They could just do that 1 versus 1 against the Porsche that the Nissan couldn't do. And then we jump up again to the Porsche 911, which can get platinum on everything apart from the speed camera. But the speed camera, it can only get silver on. So that just shows how much slower it is in a straight line. Then the Lancia Stratos and the Jaguar are one-off on 54 points. Speed camera on gold, both of them. And then 2 Ferraris, full platinum for everything, 55 miles per hour. So there you go. Pretty interesting what's possible there. There's actually more platinum medals than I was expecting. I was expecting maybe to use the E-Type for a couple of events, maybe the Lancia. But going down and using a Toyota for some and then the Mercedes and the Nissan, it was actually quite surprising. But yeah, that's the end of this episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed as always, and I will catch you for the Sports Coupe series.